evening. Keeps up the cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy, and welcome, guys, to In the Hot Seat with the Usual Suspects. Of course, joining me every Thursday night, we have my good buddy Digger Jim. How you doing, Jim?
Doing good, sir. Very excited to talk to Schaup.
Yes. And becoming a regular on our Thursday night show, we have CBizzle. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing very well. Thank you.
And in his primary customary fashion, we have Panda sneaking in the back door. How you doing, Panda?
What's going on? Anytime I can slide in there, I'm going to do it.
And, of course, we have our guest of honor, which is not me. Get my face off there. We have Schaup4Comics on. He had a great 10-1-1, and now we're welcoming him to In the Hot Seat. Schaup, how you doing, sir?
Good. Thank you for having me back. Hopefully I can keep everyone entertained a little bit.
So we're going to do what we normally do here. We're going to have you introduce yourself, what your channel is. We're going to go say hi to the chat, and then we're going to come back to you, and we'll all ask you questions.
Sounds great. So I'm just simply Schaup4Comics. You can find me on IG and here on YouTube under the same name. I'm primarily I unbox a lot of books I pick up, kind of like a lot of people, but that's my main thing for my videos, just what I'm collecting, what I go after. And then on IG, I just do a lot of following, and the last 6 months I've been hitting this little Schaup project I've been doing. So that's kind of my IG part. YouTube part is just unboxing some of the favorite books I like to pick up. So
nice. Now, have you ever on your YouTube channel shown the process of you Schaup-versing somebody?
Oh no, I haven't done that. I've done some sharing because with those little GIFs or GIFs, however people say it. I've shown a little bit of how this is what I've done with a few people. So
right, nice. Well, let's say hi to the chat, and then we're going to come back to you because I know I have questions. All right, so first in, well, it was Las Cruces, but they have removed this thing. But we have Unruly Simeon. Good to see you, sir. He just had a great 10-1-1 episode. If you guys haven't watched that, he was amazing. One of my favorite people ever, Jerry the Jitterbug. How you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. Phil from Phil's Treehouse. I thought I saw Paul in here too. Let's see. Las Cruces. We have Joe listening while he's driving. Good evening, Joe. I did see Paul. Paul from Psychedelic Comics is here. Nice to see you, sir. Steve White, who is on the 10-1-1 next Tuesday. So that'll be a fun episode. And we also have Dope Comics in. Good evening, sir. Nice to see you, Dope. Man. Another great guy in our community. And a great pre-code horror collection. Bright Azell, nice to see you. Thank you for coming in. Marcus, how you doing tonight, sir?
Marcus.
Taylor Winder. How you doing, Taylor?
Taylor.
You know, it's so cool as someone that's been on YouTube now for 3 years to see people coming to your audience that you started YouTube following. Taylor Winder is one of those guys for me. When I started watching YouTube, Taylor was one of those first channels I was watching. And if you guys haven't checked out Taylor's last video with his Jack B Comics unboxing, that's probably one of the best mystery boxes I've ever seen. Taylor got hooked up.
I agree.
That was a great box.
It's
Cold
fine.
War Comics. Nice to see
yeah.
It's fine.
Kevin, how are you, sir? Aggressively relaxing. Nice to see you, sir. And we have the man himself, Comic Journey. How are you, sir?
Comic Journey.
All right, so we've got while we're on Comic Journey, I thought that was one of your more clever ones that you did, Schaup.
Yeah.
That one was fantastic.
That took a look. Doesn't show his face. When I first started, I never showed my face either. I was too worried and did my hands, and it was just an automatic thing to think his hands coming at you. He had his classic Kool-Aid Man there and stuff, and the great mic. So it was just all set up really good.
Yeah. Nice. All right, so we're going to get right into some questions.
Okay.
So I always like to go back to people's childhoods because I like to make things traumatic for them. So,
Exactly.
So, I'm always curious because I was a big guy growing up on the Saturday morning cartoons. I always like to find out what Saturday morning cartoons you were watching, if that was a thing in your house. And I also know you're a huge Spider-Man fan, as anyone who's ever been in contact with you knows. Yes. What was your introduction to Spider-Man, and how did you get hooked on him? So that was like a couple questions in one, but
okay. Yeah. So first Saturday, Transformers, G.I. Joe. That was what I had to watch every weekend. And toys back then, that's the big. I had that plus He-Man. I guess the biggest collections were those three toys, and those three cartoons were
A sad copycat Conan for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He had more
Thundercat,
sex appeal.
yeah. So that's got me on Saturday mornings, and we of course sound. I'm sure. I think we're in the same generation. You got to get that classic turn dial.
Yep.
Yeah.
The TVs that were like 800 pounds just to move into the house, and
Oh, those old tube televisions.
yes.
And the new TV went right on top of it, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That's like the TV, yep. Little black and white one, and then the VCRs that were the size of rocket ships and stuff like that. So, yep. Spider-Man. I got introduced with a friend in school. He had some comics, and that was one thing that kind of helped me with reading. I had trouble reading, some problems with that. The comics just seemed a little bit easier. And his collection, he liked Daredevil a lot more, but he had some Spider-Man books. And then from there, it's just like I got hooked to how Peter Parker's always about back in the day in the 90s. It was just great trying to go back and forth, right or wrong.
Right.
Always trying to be on the right side, no matter what his things were. Back then, at least that's what it was. It was just like struggling to do what's right. Always had those hard troubles. I like the 90s version, late 80s of Spidey a lot better than.
That 90s Spider-Man series was so good. And then they left us on that Mary Jane cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, you guys couldn't have made like a 90-minute cartoon just to wrap it up.
Yeah.
They could still do that now.
Yeah.
But who knows? Now with Disney Plus, they may go back and make that now. Start that like they're doing with the X-Men.
Spidey 99 or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because then you had the other cartoon that I didn't even know it came out. That Ultimate Spider-Man one where he's in that different universe.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like the Animal Planet or whatever that. Yeah. Is that one?
Yeah. It was fun, but it was weird.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. He had that like Spider. He has a 2099 costume, but it was Peter Parker in the like it was.
Yeah, really odd.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Unlimited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Spider-Man Unlimited.
Oh, we got Brad and Pocan Joe and DVH have joined us. Nice. How you doing tonight, gents? All right. So once you got a hold of your friend's Spider-Man comics, did that get you into comics in general, or did you not really get into collecting comics for a while?
It just took me a little bit longer. I think saw his collection like in late elementary, and then by junior high I kind of got more into it, and then my dad noticed my interest and he was supportive with it, even though his was baseball cards back in the day. So he had a ton of collections and he kind of understood some collecting aspects. So it kind of helped with, okay, let's go after this. So I started collecting it right at the end of 200. So then he's like, let's try to get the whole run from 300. So like all through high school and all that, we just kept on trying to get that entire run of Spider-Man 300 to 400 all through high school, and then go back and try to find some old comics at a shop that we would stop in every once in a while. So and it was just fun times hanging out with him and remembering some things with Dad. So
nice. Yeah, the things that connect us to our books too are sometimes incredible, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Now you also like Wolverine, you also like the Incredible Hulk, but people mostly know you for Spider-Man. What are some other ancillary characters that people don't really know about that you're really big on and follow and collect?
Yeah. X-Men, next to Spider-Man, X-Men was the ones that I loved. And I think I might have mentioned it in the 10-1, my spec pick, Long Shot.
Yeah.
That character for me was just unique, and like his backstory and the way he was like hollow bones and he could like bend every direction. He had this luck power that no matter what he did, he'd turn out okay. And so he was my biggest one that I like to see what happens to him or see what's going on. And of course the mullets, who couldn't go
right?
Like every kid had it.
But it's an underused character. I mean, they didn't use him enough. They could easily bring him back in some capacity, I would think.
So
Joe's wearing your t-shirt.
Everyone I played basketball with had that mullet cut. I was like, oh my gosh, so everyone had it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that, and then you had they did kind of like the copycat Shatterstar. They did him dirty in the Deadpool 2 movie.
Oh yeah,
right.
I thought they were going to introduce Mojoverse, and they just like extensions and that's done. I'm like, come on, Mojoverse would be a huge addition to the Marvel universe, and that would change the landscape a little bit. And
I think we'll see that at some point. If we've seen MODOK, there's no reason we wouldn't see Mojo now.
Yeah.
Right.
That is true.
I don't know if it would be with Deadpool though. It would be
No, I
more
think
like
it'll be when they launch the X-Men.
right when they launch the X-Men. They could definitely go that route because I think everybody's seen Magneto already. I mean, that's done and done. Go into something different, and they've even explored the Hellfire Club to a degree. So that would be a great, maybe Arcade, but he's not that.
Yeah,
he's not that level of.
No, but he could be the introductory villain that you beat at the beginning of the movie before you get into the major villain.
And then from him, you could bring in Captain Britain and that whole.
Absolutely. So, I couldn't help but notice you have a ton of Wolverine back there, so I figured that was one of your.
I put that up. I haven't. I put that up like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like I thought I was going to change it this week. I'm like, I haven't got time.
You got to rotate, don't you? I hear you.
I love that I'm seeing this because this is the corner that you shoot all of your videos when you didn't shoot your face. So all it was your hands and this display right here. Yeah, this is so awesome.
My corner. That's what I get. What I got. So
well, it's so funny too, right? Because when you get on YouTube, everyone's finding their own angles.
Yeah,
and it's so odd.
Yeah,
like we all shoot from different ones and.
See, I just like it. Like going down here lets me at least show a little bit with the books and the filing cabinet's a great little table thing there too. That kind of helped out, and that was one thing I saw a long time ago. I was like, instead of having all those stacks of boxes and stuff, it just fits. This letter filing cabinet fits close. I think I have 700 to 800 comics inside there. That's kind of
really
nice.
Wow.
I just try not to go over that because I'm like, if I fill that up, I've got too many probably. So you gotta rotate it out. Mystery boxes.
Okay, so right. So is that like the inspiration behind the mystery boxes? Is my filing cabinet's getting too full? I got to get rid of some of these.
A little bit, yes. Because I'm like, I've got, of course, the box for the slabs, but then I'm like, I've got another box that like overflow. So I'm like, if that thing's getting too full, I give the kids a bottom part if they want to have the bottom. So there's a little bit with some kids books, and then some of those classic DC plates. If you ever remember those 70 plates they've got.
Oh yeah.
Back then, my in-laws were kind enough to give me that, so I was like, oh, those are awesome. That is their own plates, so I'm like, I'll keep them. I'll take them.
Cool. So we were just talking about mystery boxes. Now I'm somebody that actually went ahead and bought a lot of your mystery boxes. Every one of those drops, even one where I was like, dude, if I claim one, could I pay you next week? I gotta get this one right. So, what kind of care goes into curating these boxes? Do you curate them, or is it just okay? I've got this many, and this is how many is going to go out, and so because everything that I've gotten from you has just always been of value. And plus way more. So it's just been amazing to see the kind of collection that you have to put out there for everybody. And there's just a lot for everybody to choose from. So I was just wondering, like, how do you go about shopping for these?
A little bit of both. Sometimes we'll go shopping for them. And then sometimes it's like, I think you got one with the whole run of Long Shot 1 through, I think you got one of those boxes.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of those runs, so I'm like, it'd be a great way to give one of those out. So I'm like, I've got a whole set slab, I've got another set that's raw, so that kind of helps out. The other one is when I buy some books, I don't mind buying a lot. Like sometimes there's 1 or 2 books in the lot I really want, but then it's cheaper to buy the 10 lot of books than just the one. For some reason that seller's not. So then I'm picking up some Spidey books. Now I have triple of a book.
Right.
Right.
I can offer up some Spidey books, and I like Bronze Age and late Silver Age. So I'm like, there's a lot of people that kind of are in that love those older books. So I'm like,
oh yeah.
So
Bronze Age is my favorite.
Yeah. A lot of my mission boxes kind of go towards that. Sometimes there's some moderns in there that I pick up. So
and Bronze Age is really upped in price over the last year.
Yeah.
Like a lot of comics are going down now, but Bronze Age aren't.
No.
Right.
Silver Age. just looking back at some Silver Age books with Spidey, I'm like, oh my gosh, during the pandemic, some of those were sky high, but now like I was like, shoot, I should have just waited a little bit longer before I was trying to knock this volume 1. That's my biggest goal when I first got on YouTube was, can I get this first volume collected? Can I get all of these books down? And so,
and you never know, like, because when the pandemic hit and all those prices popped, I mean, I think a lot of us were like, oh, they're never going to go back down. They hit a new ceiling.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think some books,
but they're not going to drop like bottom level again.
Right. I think some books have plateaued from that time, and then some have absolutely just plummeted. And you're like, so it's really hit or miss. I don't know.
What circumstances pick it on you? I like what John said to other people's mystery boxes.
Yeah. I was scrolling through. Beckerman is another one. Like Panda has bought a lot of mystery boxes, and for some reason I was scrolling through my DM, and there's this address, so I typed it in and sent it off. I'm like, oh shoot! And then I'm like, why isn't he getting his mystery box yet? Well, it ended up going to Marcus instead. I sent Marcus an AOK one time, and I asked Beckerman for his address, and that was the first one that came up. And I'm like,
oh no!
They had to hook up to get the mystery box from him. So,
right. Well, they live down the street, so it's okay.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Now we did talk about what you watched for cartoons. Now, were you like the rest of us? Or you were just eating up any like content, like the old Captain America movie, Wonder Woman, Hulk. You had the Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man. Were you watching any of that live content too when you were a kid?
The Hulk, but then like for some reason, always at my grandparents. They lived out in the country, and like flipping through the channels, the only channel we could get sometimes was Wonder Woman. So I just remember as a kid watching Wonder Woman out in the country on my grandparents' farm and this little TV, just watching her spin around and watching little black and white stuff.
Becoming a man.
Yes.
Everybody loves to spin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now, being a Spider-Man fan, I don't think I've ever heard you, Evening Tony, say it, but what is your favorite Spider-Man storyline in comics?
My favorite storyline is Kraven's Last Hunt. That, for me, I just enjoy that, the darkness of it, and the artwork through the 3 books too. It was really great to see. Like sometimes just the slight little differences they would do, and like who's gonna have a Vermin.
Vermin's such an underrated character. I love Vermin.
So he's actually one person I might go after just to get his first appearance. I know that was in one of the Captain America books.
And you feel bad for him every time he's in a book. He's just such a tragic character.
Yeah.
Kraven didn't take it easy on him either, so it was a good storyline. I liked just how Kraven like second guessed himself all the time, like all those, and it put the costume on and just felt like he couldn't take Spidey's place. Like it was way too much for him. And
yeah, no one wants the responsibility of Spider-Man.
No.
So what is your least favorite Spider-Man story?
Ooh, good one. Good one, Bizzle.
It's hard to
Clone Saga one.
Right.
There's so many bad ones too.
When Ben came back, I didn't mind it too much. Like it was always in the late 300 run that kind of Ben came back, and I didn't mind. Like he always was too scared to show up and let Aunt May see him. So like I remember him kind of showing up and talking to Peter a few times. Towards that 400 area of the issue.
Right.
Yeah.
But the Clone Saga got a little bit out there, but I don't have a lot of moderns, so I couldn't say I know some people have a lot of runs they don't like about those stories. I love it's hard to say because I love the Bronze and Silver Age stories of Spidey because everything they have is pretty good. Even the clone, I don't mind it too much.
And I love the story where him and JJ were connected by a bomb to each other's arms.
Yes, yeah.
That was a great
issue. Like
that was one of my favorites as a kid. I read that one a lot.
Yeah. And when Spidey's always in those early Silver Age, always trying to figure it out, like just trying, like what can I do next? How do I get out of this situation? And
right.
Now I know you're saying that Vermin was like your most underrated Spider-Man villain. What's your favorite Spider-Man villain?
Favorite villain is going to be the OG symbiote, the Venom, because when I started collecting, it was right at that, like I said, late 200 issue to 300, and my issue of 300 is so overread. Like even though I got it graded, it's just creased down the side. Like I'm like, I didn't care what the grade was. I'm like, I can't keep reading this book. It's gonna
fall apart.
Like,
Right.
I loved how they introduced him. My favorite thing is just the thickness that Todd McFarlane drew of him. Like some artists didn't do that. He made him so much like thickness of the Hulk. But once he had that costume on him, he was just so burly and
And it's so weird.
Size difference with him and Peter. Like I'm this much.
Well, Eddie Brock was big. I mean,
he was a weightlifter.
Yeah.
Right.
Brock was a thick boy.
And I'm wondering why they never did that in any of the live action, right? You had this guy who was known for like pumping weights, and he's never pumped weights in any movie.
And you got Topher Grace, who's like this little.
That was infuriating.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That was emo.
Triggering the whole chat, and
that was bad.
Yeah. Oh, we got a pretty good Sandman. I mean, like he did pretty good out of the bed. Like he really did not do Venom good at all. So
Schaup, I got a question.
Yeah.
With Spider-Man being your favorite, who do you think drew him the best?
Ooh.
I'm still that Todd McFarlane. He's
I think so too.
I just for some of those issues, like his Mary Jane too, sometimes was just really good.
Well, I just liked it because like his Spider-Man, every one of the lines were filled in. Nothing was rushed out the way like, okay, yeah, he's got boots on, but you don't need to see the webbings in his boots. You get it, you understand it.
Yeah.
It was so much detail, webbing, the spaghetti, like, oh my God, everything about it was, and the big old bug eyes. And you can actually, like, was that the first time we ever saw the nose to a Spider-Man in through the costume? I thought that was ingenious. His
backgrounds too, and some of those artworks with the cityscapes and stuff, and I just the way he like would manipulate the body too is way more what they used to do. Like they would actually make him look like he's way more acrobatic, like he should be if he's supposed to be this guy flipping through the neighborhood and stuff. So
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Real quick question. For the live action Spider-Man, which actor portrayed Peter Parker the best to you?
It's going to be probably between I put them both together just because I like the youngness of it with Tom Holland. Like it shows the younger version. Like I loved. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank right now.
Tobey Maguire.
Thank you. I love him as Peter Parker, but Tom Holland gives that teenage feel of like when you're reading those early Spider-Man.
Right.
He actually comes across as some teenage kid struggling with all this stuff, and Tobey Maguire, he was great with it, but like it just didn't seem like he had that teenage angst like you're looking for from your Spider-Man.
Well, they also started him
30, right?
Yeah, they started late. You know, he was in high school for like a minute, and then they went off to college. So that teenage angst, he didn't really have a whole lot to deal with, other than you know.
I want to see an adult Spider-Man. I want to see an adult Peter Parker one. He did so much as an adult, and those are my favorite. Those are some of my favorites in the comics too. Like him and MJ, Mary going through the struggles. Her having a career, him still trying to do Spider-Man. All those are such great stories.
Yeah,
and going back and forth to college and work, and just trying to figure out if he can even stay in college. And that's why if we have Tom Holland, let's sign him up, and then you just go through all this progression, and we can see him.
Right, start like they're doing with him with Nathan Drake. Hopefully, they'll let him grow into it. So GBH saying JR Senior for him. That's my favorite Spider-Man. Yeah. Although what I did love about the Todd is he revolutionized the eyes.
Yes.
The eyes were so good after that. Taylor's saying Ditko. Paul is saying Romita Sr. for him as well. And Romita Sr. is my favorite. But I was also a big fan of Eric Larson, who had the most thankless job in comics at the time was to follow up Todd McFarlane on a character that he made his name on. And I thought Eric Larson came in and just absolutely killed it.
Yeah.
I love Eric Larson's Spider-Man.
Venom finally coming out, and
he put the tongue, he put the drool. That was all added by Eric Larson.
Todd's Venom bulkiness and that jaw, put all that together, and then you've got it. So
Exactly.
Wasn't it Larson that did ASM 375? Was it 375? Where it's got Venom right on the cover of it, and he's like got two
gold
people.
cover?
Yeah,
Well, no,
that's the one where he's over Spider-Man, right? Are you thinking of 318?
No, that's 316. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of the one that's after 375, or is it 374?
He's like got
before
him
or
two
after.
people in the air or something.
Yeah. He's two people up in the air, just like that.
Yeah, with a white background. I don't know if he did that or not. I want to say
that was Larson,
because I think it was
was
part
that
of
Bagley.
No, that was Mark Bagley.
Oh no, that's right. That's right. It was
Okay.
because that was part of the
That's what
Carnage
he told his parents, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I think it was part of Carnage.
Yes, parents. Yep.
Yeah.
See, I like was Larson the one who did the Hamlet? With
Yes.
the skull? Yeah.
That one is.
Yep.
I found one of those not too long ago, and I put that in a mystery box because I like that one.
So good. So
on Spider-Man is cool, but I guess let's jump also over to. I'm curious about X-Men.
Yeah, X-Men,
because I like Spider-Man, but I love X-Men, and I'm curious to see what Obviously, Wolverine. I'm assuming is maybe that and Longshot are your favorites.
Wolverine and Colossus. Those three are my top. Colossus is
Colossus.
Just his
so underrated.
Yes,
very underrated.
He's like, if you think Superman is a Boy Scout, you need to hang out with Colossus a little bit.
Yeah,
early Colossus was
early Colossus.
He was very Boy Scout. Yes.
Well, again, he was. I think people forget they're like all real young when they first start out like that. Correct. I mean, they're a little bit older than Kitty Pryde was, but the majority of them were, still in their early 20s and whatnot. And he'd come from Russia with nothing.
Yeah.
And,
didn't like the little swimsuit. They didn't need to just put him in a little swimsuit. I'm like, come on! I know you're trying to show off the silverness.
I know.
But come on!
I know that was funny. Is there a storyline that you like from them particularly?
I mean, I love the Fall of the Mutants and Inferno. Those two, though they're so close together, but I'm like, those two came out, and I'm like, those two storylines, and I didn't mind all the different going between the books because that really tied it great with, especially with Mr. Sinister.
Sinister,
he'd be great to see as a villain show up too in the MCU. So, and with Inferno, part of that with Longshot was he got bit by a demon, then he just didn't trust his luck power at all. That whole storyline of him kind of going through that fight, like, can he trust what he does anymore with his luck? And that was a fun read with him. And then
Inferno,
the head. I guess that was Fall of the Mutant. So
Inferno kind of traumatized me when I was a kid reading it. That one scene when that family went into the elevator.
Oh yeah,
and the elevator door closed and it changed to some bunch of demons.
Yeah,
and then it was screaming like, "Oh, it got me!" And then one kid was screaming for his mom, and he saw the blood coming out the elevator. That traumatized me as a kid.
So Inferno, they went pretty deep into that. I mean, it was pretty horrible. Just light reading. It's like, no, this isn't just light reading.
Well, and that ran through the annuals of everything too, right?
Yeah.
So what part of Colossus, was there a certain storyline or something that happened with Colossus that made you go Colossus? Because right now, for whatever reason, it's so weird that we were talking about Colossus. I've been looking for so many, the Diamond Select toy of Colossus, because I want to do the fastball special with one of these Wolverine figures.
Ooh, yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, because that X-Men 100 is just for seeing that fast. Well, we didn't really see it, but to actually know that it freaking happened, and then later on, they recreate it with the She-Hulk, which was absolutely my favorite part of that panel. Or whatever. So, what was it that? Yeah,
I like his interaction with his sister, and one of my favorite stories ever with him was I think it's only one issue. I might pull it out, but when they all think X-Men are dead. And then all of a sudden he goes to Inferno to check on his sister, and she thinks it's a ghost because she was doing a spell for Colossus. He shows up and kind of saves her because there's an issue going on in Limbo, and
Yeah.
and he can't be nothing magical can affect him. So like none of the demons, nothing can hurt him down there anyway. So it's just, and the cover of him just like on top of all these, it's a fantastic cover too for Colossus.
And I don't
See,
think back
the
in the
one-
day you could have predicted Magic becoming as popular as she is. Like just
Oh,
what they
man.
did with that
Oh
character.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was just saying that my favorite Colossus is because this was the one X-Men book I had forever before I got another X-Men book, but it was the one where Colossus was fighting Juggernaut in the bar.
In the bar, yeah.
Because Wolverine had set him up. He was just like, I was going to beat his ass, but here's Juggernaut. He can do it all himself. We'll just
Right.
set him up. And dude, the panels within there, just, Juggernaut just sliding Colossus across the whole bar and doing all that and then destroying everything. I thought it was the craziest thing. But to think that like Wolverine was my favorite at the time, but to see him like set this dude up to get beat up, like whether or not it was going to be by Juggernaut or by him, he was going to get his butt beat that night.
So the same thing with him putting him in the clamps, and I think it's 1:22. Like
Yeah.
he jumps in the danger room and like he's testing Colossus' strength, and it's like, no, come on, you got to like push.
Well, he
it.
would push him. Yeah, he would
Yeah.
push him.
Yeah.
He like
Yeah.
fizzed out
It's a
the
good duo. I mean,
controls.
those two would play off each other. So
Yeah.
Well, that in the first Jim Lee cover for the X-Men, you got Colossus front and center.
Right.
Oh
Yeah.
They,
Oh,
his X-Men is the best X-Men. I think Jim Lee X-Men is just outstanding with the artwork how he draws them. Like his Wolverine is what you would think of a short Wolverine, was stocky and
Right.
And it seemed like back then you didn't read a bad X-Men story. They were all so good.
They were.
so even though I didn't like Executioner's Song that much, Wolverine, I remember a read where he was with Cable and Bishop in some fight, and they're like, "Don't worry about him. He's lost it. He's in berserker mode." And like and Wolverine's just fighting in this crowd, and Cable and Bishop are like not even concerned about Wolverine. They're like, "We can't talk to him. He's just off in his zone." So
It's just letting a little 3-year-old at Kmart run around and be like, yeah, he'll tire himself out. It's all good.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
And you remember when that first X-Men movie came out that wasn't the original cast? And that great scene where they walk into the bar to get Wolverine. They're like, we were wondering if fuck off. And they go, okay.
Yep.
yes,
Such a great cameo.
Oh yeah. See, he's been a great Wolverine. I mean, everyone talks about the size, but I'm like, you can almost overlook it with the acting that he's done. And
Yeah. I mean, I think he was a great casting for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
unless you've read the comics, most people don't know the size of Wolverine.
no,
You know,
No,
they're not
he's-
looking at that. They're just looking at what he can do.
Yeah, he's
And-
3'5". Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, ain't too many muscle bound actors that's 5'3" walking
No.
around.
Yeah.
No.
No.
And I heard they had Danny DeVito
Yeah.
chosen back as an early choice, which still makes me laugh.
Oh,
yeah.
But
when?
Danny
Danny
Vito could play
DeVito,
Puck.
Puck.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
could play
oh,
Puck.
Yeah.
I believe you could find a Puck out there if you really tried.
Yeah.
You beefed up, you know,
The dude that played in Game of Thrones.
beefed up the Demon.
Yeah.
He's a little old now, though.
Yeah, you can't do it now. No.
Yeah.
I was about to say Wee Man could probably do it.
Yeah.
You
Well,
guys
he's
are
getting
like
up there
there's only
too,
two
though,
dwarf
right?
actors out there. You guys have no love for any other dwarf actors, right?
No.
Well, after those two, it just goes into the guy that played Willow, and then that's it. Like,
That's
Yeah.
it.
he's
Yeah.
not gonna be able to do it. So
Right. He's too old too.
But I've heard some talks with Zac Efron, like he's short, like, but then also the guy from Kingsman.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Oh, he's, Tarragin
short, too.
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, those would be two decent ones. Even Eastwood's kid, I think that was
Oh, Scott
like
Eastwood,
a year ago.
Yeah. Scott Wheaton.
Yeah,
when
that's
I
what I
saw
said.
his
Scott
pictures,
Eastman
I was
would be a
like-
good Wolvie.
Yeah, so I'm like,
Well,
got
there's
some
somebody who's going to do it because I guarantee you he's not going to do it much longer. I mean, he's getting to the point where I think he's done.
I think he
this
just did
Deadpool
this as
might-
a favor for Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that this Deadpool will probably be the last time he does anything because just getting into that physical shape, at his age, I mean, you know, come on, man. I mean, if you don't stay in it, and you just your body can only take it so much.
Yeah, and you want to eat more than chicken and rice every day of your life.
Right. You know, I heard a funny story. I'm trying to think of it's the last guy that played Tarzan.
That was Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Skarsgård.
You know, they interviewed him one time, and he said, you know, they asked him about the movie, and he said, you know, that was such a pain because he did the entire movie, and then he went home, and, you know, he was, like Gary said, he was like on chicken and rice, and just, you know, he bulked up and just muscled up for the movie, and then he thought he was done, went home and just let it go. And then they call him and say, yeah, we had a problem, reshoot.
Oh, geez.
And he's like, yeah, you're gonna have to give me about a month.
Yeah.
Because he, you know,
was he the actor who did Norseman too?
Yeah, exactly.
But I saw Norseman. Norseman was
incredible.
Yeah, Norseman was good.
Incredible. Yeah, I love that. I never saw the Tarzan actually because
yeah.
But I remember that interview and I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, can you imagine? Hey,
I'm with you too. Like
Schaup,
my Tarzan movie is Legend of Greystoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was Brendan Fraser, and then I was like, "No, that's George of the Jungle." I
he could still be your Tarzan.
Oh, he definitely is.
Right?
Yeah.
So the X-Men has a very expansive rogues gallery. What are some of your favorite villains from the rogues gallery?
I'll put it Mojo. He's up there. Sinister. I like him. Just like his infatuation with Jean Grey, Scott, and those two like genes, like what's gonna happen. Like he's just trying to get those two together all the time.
Right.
And then Omega Red with Wolverine. I like Omega Red over Sabretooth for Wolverine. I think Wolverine's great, but
see now Omega Red's a character I never liked.
What?
Yeah.
You do
I was
not
like,
like
oh my gosh,
Omega
Omega
Red?
Red. I'm like, yeah, whatever. He's in the same category as Venom to me.
Schaup, do us a favor and show them where I am on the shirt.
I guess I went backwards. So let's see, right here.
Yeah. And what am I drawn as?
Omega Red.
Yeah, fuck you, Gary.
And what am I drawing? Colossus. There you go.
Omega Red's
correct.
I like CBizzle's classic Black Panther colors. That's really good.
Yep, right under the P. I see.
Now, while we got your shirt and we're talking about this, we'll get to the shop verse. So a long time ago, I got a Conan in the mail from you. I was like, oh, this is really cool, you know. And then it was like a year later, all of a sudden you started doing the shop verse. How did you come up with that style of what you do, and what got you going? Where did the shop verse spark from? From you sending me a Conan, all of a sudden you're putting people as those characters.
Yeah. So I did. I sent you a Conan, and I think I sent Rob a Spider-Man and Nick his logo. And the big thing is, I used to work at a summer camp for kids, and there'd be a 30-minute break that they were supposed to read, color, draw. So then, like the staff, like, what are we gonna do? So I'm gonna sit down, and I would just draw pictures. And at the time, back then, that was the height of a superhero squad. I would just pull up my phone next to me and pull up a character and just take that small image and just draw a black and white pencil on the paper next to me. And then we'd give kids that'd be something that they could color if they didn't want to do something else. So,
yes, Paul. Those are all creations of Schaup here.
Yeah. So that style kind of came from the superhero squad type look.
Right.
And then I wanted to say, I said, well, you know what? I think we can put some of the community on a hero body that they liked. So I tried out, especially the first, I guess, hit when I did Chris, the comic vet, his 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I put him down as Spider-Man, and I thought I tried to do a redo of the face, try to make it a little bit better, and his turned out so good. I'm like, let me try a few more. And then after posting like 3 or 4 people and having all these likes, I'm like, well, maybe I can keep going. And then all of a sudden I'm already at 50 people. I'm like, okay, can I do 100? So I'm like, okay, I got to 100. Can I do more? So I'm like, the hardest thing is trying to find characters I haven't used already. Some of them, it's hard not to. Like Spider-Man at least has tons of costumes.
I haven't seen anyone in a Future Force costume yet.
No, I haven't done that one yet. I was close. I was also thinking about doing the 6-arm Spider-Man too. I could do.
You could. Yeah.
Spider-Man ones yet, and even I've done a few Superman, but there's of course different suits, so that's okay there.
You got to make somebody Morbius.
Morbius, I could do that. The hard thing is sometimes I want it to be something they enjoy. So I'm like, can I research a little bit about what this person? Can I catch their YouTube videos? 1011 is a nice little help for me. So when they show me books, that's what I did for Simeon. He talked about Loki. So I'm like, next day I put Loki out there for him quick, and but like I knew some people liked different characters and really like promoted them. So I'm like, it was kind of easy. Some people I didn't know, I kind of reached out. So like sometimes I had to reach out for someone like kind of go back door. So because I like it as a surprise. If it could be a surprise more than them just telling me, it'd be a little bit nicer just to have that.
Right. So. Well, I remember you reached out to me for a few people like, hey, what should I make them?
Yeah.
I was gonna suggest Morbius for Adrian just because he sucks the life out of everything.
Sorry.
No.
That's
I just had to make sure you're still awake down there, buddy.
No, my son was actually making me one of those friendship bracelets, and he had put Panda, but with the M instead of a D, so it says Pamda. I don't know if you guys can see. There you go.
Close enough.
That's your alter ego, Pamda.
Yeah, right.
Everyone's got to have a doppelganger.
Absolutely. Oh, honey, my favorite Ninja Turtle is Mikey. I don't know. There you go, Kitty. Favorite turtle is Mikey. There you go, guys.
That was Donatello for some reason back in the day.
Because it should be Donatello. He's clearly the best turtle.
Right.
Oh,
well, I guess it was easier to get the staff like outside. I could get a staff. I can't get any swords or nunchucks.
Yeah. See, I always figured with Mikey's nunchucks, they would unscrew at the end like a flask, and then they would just get the party going. Just keep it going, right?
Yeah.
You got the R-rated version of the Turtles.
Right. As I got into high school, the nunchucks turned into glow sticks at the raves and everything.
Yeah. That's hilarious. So what did you say? Did you say you were already up to how many? 400? Are you close to 400?
I'm at one. Oh, I have to look. But I'm on my 4th set of 50. So
okay.
I think I'm
gotcha.
Because for the shirts, we talked about that a little earlier. 100 people on a shirt just was a little bit too small. So I thought 50, at least I could do 50 and make it a little bit bigger. So if I could just do groups of 50 every time, it'd be pretty cool, I thought. So I'm on my fourth set of 50 right now. We'll see if I can get that done before the school year starts.
I like the new one that you had posted today of the Predator.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
And we can get these shirts on Teespring, on your
Teespring
IG,
and the link is on my IG at the top, with right next to my YouTube link.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one.
Yeah, and most of them all have the same kind of thing. Just like I said, it's going to be 50 instead of 100.
Oh, now, do they got a 3X? Because I am kind of a big man.
They
you gotta get Panda.
Teespring has all sizes, and I think I only went to like 4 different colors. I'm like, because some of the colors didn't kind of work with the background, so try to pick at least 4 different colors that might be okay. Then I did tell somebody that asked, I'm like, maybe look for your character. If you know where you're at, don't order a shirt that doesn't have your character on it, or if you want a different shirt, you can get that too. But
well, that's the thing. You could have you could have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. Just release them like this is the phase 1 shirt, the phase 2 shirt, and they can buy whatever one they want.
I think at the top they do have. I think it is Schaup4 shirt 2 or shirt 1 or shirt 3. So
is the shirt you got on now? Is that phase 1?
This is the practice. This is one I
Okay.
tried, like I said, with 100 people on it. So it's all the way down there. So they're
I
just.
like that.
I tried it out. DLS Suspense reached out one time too, and he was going to help out with the shirt. So he made a practice shirt. I made a practice shirt, and Teespring was just a little bit clearer of a shirt.
Right.
So I just, like I said, I took it down to 50 people, and hopefully those are a little bit clearer as well. And
Yeah, I can see myself. I'm right under the P.
yep. So
Now, do you have an end game for this, like where you want to see it go to?
no, I don't. I just. Hopefully I can keep
Riding
going.
wild.
The end game is just how long can I go? Can I make it last as long as possible, or until people are like, okay, this is enough? I've seen it pop up on my stream way too many times. I don't need to see another Schaup character. I don't need to see somebody else. So
I see Brian LCS has his like a little Marvel card.
yes.
I thought it was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah. Matt by Comics of the Bay, he did talk to me first and asked about making these cards. So I got mine in the mail too. He got that classic. Is that the?
Oh, they even got stats on the back. That's all.
Yes. Oh, this one has 2 in it because he gave me one of Brian. So I got 12 of my cards from him.
Wow.
Plus the one of Brian's. So yeah, there's stats on the back. This is so this is doubled up. So Brian's on the back here. It talks a lot about the person and the YouTube stuff. So
now I wonder if Teespring could do like where someone could order a full size shirt of their avatar on it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they would.
You know,
that'd be great.
Yeah, say I have a shirt option. It's mine. Like it's half of my person, blown up as big as I can get.
Right.
And I was watching Triple G. Triple G, is that Peter, right? Am I thinking
Yeah,
right?
from overseas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching one of the shows and I was commenting, and because I did him as a Marvel Boy, I think it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Vantastro Marvel Boy.
No, it might have been Shazam one, right?
Okay.
The new Warriors one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Vantastro. Yeah.
So I did him, and he had some people on his show. He's like, "We need to have you guys get shopped." So then, like, I like that phrase he said. So then I blew myself up, and I just said, "Get shopped" over my image.
Nice.
Shirt. So and I put that on a coffee mug too on Teespring.
Oh,
and
nice.
I saw DVH actually had the coffee mug that he had one episode with Get Shopped on it. So
nice.
And it's a good catchphrase.
yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna steal that from. I told him, I said, I stole that from you when I made the shirts.
Nice. And so, do you have any in the works right now? Do you have like your next 5 planned out, or?
No, I just got, like I said, I just did the Predator one today. I kind of got that one done, and that one, I definitely wanted to get the mask on somehow. So I just made it look like he was about ready to put it on his head. So he's like holding the Predator mask off to the side, and I really want to make sure hopefully they could tell who the person is, or if they don't know, they could check that person out. It's more of a just shout out. Like I don't do a lot with I like to support, but it's hard to spread that all out there. So hopefully this is my way of supporting people, and hopefully get people to, I know a lot of people already know others, but hopefully introduce some people. So
Ooh, have you ever done an Ellen Ripley from Aliens?
No, I actually thought about doing that. Like, I don't know who I was listening to. There was somebody I was talking, and like just put her inside the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that would be fun.
So many iconic things too. Just I like that. The Predator works because it's also that last Predator storyline was incredible from Marvel. People are sleeping on the Alien and Predator books, and they've been fantastic. And the last 2 story arcs from both of them were great. And so you kind of ride in the line because that's more of a movie franchise. Yeah. I like that you're diversifying into other nerd genres with the Schaup-verse because it's really cool. I mean, because you can only do so many heroes.
Yeah,
right.
So it's nice to have Star Wars out there. It's because I just did the Three Good Nerds this week too, and so as a family, I'm like, okay, we got the kind of do a couple. Then I got Ezra as a kid who's kind of learning from them. So
Yeah, they're big Star Wars fans,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's a good call. I think Sith Lordly, you did him too. I think.
yeah, I did him as oh my gosh,
Did you do him as Vader?
no, I did him
No,
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. That's what it was.
He was one of my favorite
Fett.
GIFs too. I made. He was my favorite, like, because I had
Yeah.
him flying away from the Sarlacc
Yeah.
pit, shooting a little rocket down into the pit and everything exploding.
Right.
So,
Right. That's
Now, is there a
awesome.
genre that you haven't dipped your toe in yet that you're eager to?
no, let's say because I'm a Star Wars fan too, so I'm like, that's fun to do.
So like some cool horror ones, right? Like you could do someone as Michael Myers or Jason or Freddy or just it's limitless what you could do.
Yep, the Swamp Man and all the Mummy and yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Lord of the
Dope
Rings.
Comics would be all right with that.
Yeah, there you
Right.
go.
That's his jam right there. You're in his wheelhouse.
I remember too, like Whack Comics they're doing the cards,
Yep.
and Ignacio did me as McCready from the Thing.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was I like
with the
that.
parka and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just didn't have me with the bottle. But I was like, wow, because he'd reach out, he's like, I'm gonna do a card of you. What do you want? I'm like, oh, I want to be McCready.
Yeah.
Put me in that movie.
See, I guess Disney. I'm like, I don't know, some people, if you follow me on IG, you might see they say we're huge Disney fans here at this house. So
Right.
I would have to change the body styles a little bit. I wouldn't be able to like buff unless we're gonna buff up Mickey and all these other characters. And
Right.
Right.
Man, I haven't been there
if
in
you
forever.
need furries, you can make them Rocket Raccoon or someone.
yeah,
Right.
There you go.
Yeah,
Comic
that's,
Foo's the only furry I know, right?
Right.
Right.
that's our second love. I became a Disney adult. My wife took me down after so many years. I've never been there.
Right.
But down there, all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, I'm hooked on the parks. I can mentally escape from everything. And
There you go. Steve White is on the 10-1-1 next week.
Be cool to have.
oh, Wilson Fisk. That'd be. Oh, I have that. Biggie.
Biggie Wilson. Yeah.
Oh yes.
He's the whole McCain. He's got the classic
He
white
does.
coat and yep. So Panda sent me a nice little gif about the last time we went down to Disney with bullshit. Like you were like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that.
He's like-
That one's so hilarious with the
Yes.
kid.
yeah, the little voice like,
Bullshit. Yeah.
money can't buy me happiness, and then it kept on showing all these clips of Disney bullshit. I'm like, yes.
So, Schaup, do you have any kids?
2 little ones.
Yeah.
So,
How old are they? Do they enjoy going to Disney as well?
yes, as often as we go, they still love the fact that they can grow as they go down too, so they can kind of like move on to the next step. Like, oh, I'm too
Right.
small now for this ride, but then the next time we go down, now you're big enough. So like, seeing that through their eyes is really great.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
So, yeah, and they've done a lot more coasters than I thought. I'm like, Space Mountain is one of their favorites. Milt,
Yeah.
But the new one, we love Guardians of the Galaxy. If you guys get down there, that's the ride I would recommend to get to as soon as you could.
Wow.
Cosmic Rewind, that coaster is just pure marvel. So
Yeah.
You see, and I'm one of those guys, like if I go to an amusement park, I'll ride every single ride there. Like if I'm there, I want to ride everything. I'll
Yes.
push kids off the teacups. I'm riding every ride. I don't care. Getting on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was always worried if I ever became one of those Disney adults that I'd actually be one of those Disney adults that did the underground, like I'm going to sneak into Disney and try to look at like what was it, the Ride of Tomorrow or whatever it was, or
Right.
yeah,
gosh, what is in all these like abandoned rides and everything like
Yep.
that? That'd be me.
there was the water park that people snuck into that they closed down there that people kept on sneaking into and looking at all the stuff there.
Have they torn down any of those parks because of trespassers or anything like that?
No, say they keep changing. That's one thing too we enjoy. Like something is changing nonstop. It's so many different things, and so it's
they
fun
own half of Florida. I
What's
mean, I said they own half of Florida, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
They're like their own little city.
Oh yeah, we're in the middle of the country, so like getting down there, it's kind of just a nice little getaway all the time. And
I was fortunate that my son didn't care for any of it. Saved me a bundle.
Yeah,
a bundle.
I have never been to Disney, never, ever.
Yeah,
I plan on. I want to go.
Yeah,
I have a 6-year-old boy, so
it's like I said, it could be for anybody. Like I said, I didn't think I'd ever go back after going in the late '90s, and my wife took me down one time, and I was like, okay, this is very adult. I can do a lot more, and so bought into their timeshare thing they have down there, and we just could never look back.
Right. Oh man, my parents got a timeshare because we went down to Florida once. Westgate Resort. So like everywhere we go, it's got to be like, okay, it's one of these destination places that is Westgate Resorts. That's how we enjoy our family time.
Yeah.
Now there was a great one in New York called The Great Escape, which I used to love going to. We used to go like every summer. Oh, and they had just such great rides. And I don't know, I think I got disillusioned when I got older because as an adult, I would go to Six Flags, and I would just be like, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's all right.
Now, I've been to Six Flags.
Well, see, so we, John and I grew up, 20 minutes from King's Dominion. So my mother what she would do is before the end of the school year, she'd go and drop $20, and that's what you paid. You paid $20 for a season's pass back then.
Oh, wow.
And she would say, here's some money, you and your brother go, and she'd pull up, and back then King's Dominion was a lot of Hanna-Barbera, Hanna-Barbera characters, Yogi and so forth, and she'd pull up and she's like, you see, Great Ape, you see that sign? You need to meet me at Funky Fathom number 4 at 5 o'clock. If you're not here at Funky Fathom number 4 at 5 o'clock, you're not going back. So that was it. And then we'd have money to eat something, and we could and you started to see, it was weird because I thought that, God, is this going to be me and John's summer? And you'd see other kids, and there were other kids that their parents would do the same thing. They'd drop them off, and you'd be like, hey, I saw you here the other day. And you don't work here. And, so then we'd have this whole gang just kind of, going to, and you could ride everything. But it got old after a while. I mean, I remember there's plenty of times I'm like, I'm done with it.
DVH.
King's Dominion,
Hanna-Barbera, there you go. There's a genre I can get. I think I've only done one.
For sure.
I have Hanna-Barbera. The Space Ghosts. I think that's about the only one I've done.
Yeah, Jean Malot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Saturday morning cartoons too.
Yes. Yeah.
Thundar the Barbarian.
Thundar. See, that's what there's any more barbarian friends out there. Say that Thundar is the next one. We could put that in the crew of the barbarians. We got like 6 of you guys out there.
Now, I wanted to get back to comics a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
And what you've been collecting Spider-Man, but you're a guy that is goal oriented when you're collecting. What are some of your comic goals for the rest of this year?
For this year, one of my goals was
CBizzle, check the private chat, please. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is to maybe, I know it's kind of a FOMO right now, but pick up Deadpool's first appearance, or even his little short issue, the 1 through 4 little miniseries he had, the Time Caper or something like that. What's that series called? Anybody have?
I don't know that one. He had a miniseries.
There's a 4-issue series that he did.
Oh wait, it is like all black or something, and he's down on the bottom. I think I might have a couple of those books.
Yeah, so that's another goal, because I know that that'd be just a nice little intro to the early Deadpool, because I mean I know a little bit about the later Deadpool, but the earlier one I know is just a little bit different than what they turned him into, and so
Right.
yeah,
Right.
and then just some Spider-Man related things. If I can get some Miles, like the Ultimate Spider-Man issue 1, that might be out there. Just now that my volume 1 is complete, somewhat complete, so it's kind of all done there with Spidey. Look at some Web of Spider-Man or Spectacular Spider-Man has them first, because there's a lot of villains that show up for the first time in those 2 books. So it'd be nice to pick up some villains that are first appearances in there.
Taylor Winder. I just want the first appearance of Deadpool's feet.
There you go.
You'll never get it.
No. Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely.
Now it's funny too, because I love the movies, but I'm not a fan of Deadpool in the comics. But I'll watch the hell out of the movies and laugh my butt off and have a great time.
Yeah.
I also loved how they portrayed Colossus in those as the ultimate Boy Scout in them too.
Yep.
Great.
Yes.
And when he puked at the end when Deadpool killed the guy.
Oh yeah.
Did it come out silver? Like, did they zoom in on his vomit? How did that vomit come out? I don't know what they did.
Yeah,
oh no, they didn't. They just had him turn his head and puke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so good though. And when Deadpool punches him in the junk, he's like, "Oh, your poor wife."
The way he got ripped by the Juggernaut. That's what you saw in the Hulk did that to Wolverine in the Ultimate Comics. Was that what?
Yes.
Oh, Old Man Logan, right?
Old Man Logan, I think. Yeah.
Oh no, Old Man Logan went through.
No.
Yeah.
Hulk. In the Hulk,
yeah.
he ripped him in half. Yeah.
Then the Ultimate Comics, they had that like Hulk had those like the giant necklace stuff, and he was like living in the mountain or something. And I thought like an issue was like he just ripped, and Wolverine like crawled to his other half or something. Like he had to smell himself to find himself, or like,
yeah.
I was like, okay, that's pretty hardcore right there.
But see, and in Old Man Logan, there's one of my favorite characters that we'll never see on screen now that Disney owns them, and that's Spider Bitch.
No.
Spider Bitch is a great character. She is savage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real character shop in case you weren't familiar.
I'll have to look it up because I didn't read the Old Man Logan series. I knew
that is actual character.
Yeah,
that is actual character.
Like, damn, we'll never get that with Disney. We're not going to see like coming this summer. Spider Bitch.
Yep.
No.
I did see.
We can only hope.
Deadpool
Right?
or Daredevil might be a little darker than they thought. Now I thought I saw an article. I was going to try to read it. They said it might actually be darker than what people were thinking.
Well, I hope it is. I don't think they're going to screw it up because why would you bring Charlie Cox back if you're not going to try to recapture the same feel of the Netflix series, of which people loved? Yeah. I mean, you bring that actor back for that reason. He embodied the Daredevil character so well. Now they just need to give Rosario Dawson a night nurse show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see that, and I would love to see the two women have Nightwing Investigations, have the Daughters of the Dragon in a show together.
Mm-hmm.
Say they were the good part of the show.
Yeah, because you could even have Night Nurse join them, and you could have Colleen Wing and Misty Knight have a show, which I think would be great.
Yeah.
See, that one could even be, there's not a lot of there's not a lot of special effects for that, so that could even be done as a regular TV show.
Yeah,
right.
That would
you just
even have
Misty's
to be
bionic arm.
Yeah, I mean that's the most CGI type thing you would have to do is when she's using that, because Colleen Wing is just an expert swordsman and fighter and so forth. So there's a lot of things there's so many they could have done the Defenders so much better. Yeah. I don't know.
Say Luke Cage, the actor who did Luke Cage, I enjoyed him a lot.
Mike Coulter was great as Luke Cage.
Yeah, I was just not impressed with the Iron Fist, the way they did it. I didn't like any of that. So
no.
Oh,
and I love when they put him in the old costume in that one episode. It was just so funny.
Just a little flash. We'll give you a flash of yellow and chains, and then we'll take it away.
Yeah. Well, he even had the headpiece on.
Yep.
Yes, the actor that played Cottonmouth was very good. I liked him as a villain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad he's not going to be our Blade now.
Right. That's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of
Okay.
capable actors out there that can fill the role.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there's nobody going to do anything for a while until they get their act together.
No.
True.
Right.
Now, speaking of
So-
this, what is because I'd like to ask this question too. I'm really curious. What is some of your favorite? Give me a favorite underrated, underutilized character that you would like to see made an A-list character through TV or movies. Someone that's like a dead C-list character that you don't see often. We all have them.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to take a moment here. I might have to think about it.
Because I'm always rooting for a Dazzler TV show.
That'd be good. Maybe the Marauders. As a
Wow.
team one.
Mm.
Wow.
The Kitty Pryde-led Marauders, or
The
or the old ones?
all the mutants Marauders that they were
Okay.
Yeah.
get some of those like twist those bizarre like power groups. That was my favorite thing about X-Men too, was just the diversity of like this person's got this power, this one's got this, and so the Marauders were kind of that little like underground group that they would kind of run into and have those little conflicts. And
See, that's why I'd like to see the Morlocks. I'd like to see an X-Men movie about the Morlocks.
Oh yeah.
That would be so
That'd be
good.
really cool. You know, it'd be really funny if the Morlocks that we got were the ones that were from Futurama. You know, I went down to go see Leela's family.
Right? Oh, goodness. All right, so, guys, we've actually been going for an hour and 6 minutes. So we're going to start going around with some final questions, and we'll get it wrapped up. I can't believe the hour went by that fast already.
that was quick.
Well, that just means you'll have to come on again at some other point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, because we thought we might talk on this one time too. So
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about it now.
Yeah, bring it up. Bring it up.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll make the time, Schaup.
Yeah, let's do it right now.
All right. So this was one of my spec book when I showed you. It's called Max Baker, the Non-Magic Maker, and it's a middle grade book I wrote that I self-published on Amazon. So
Nice.
it's one of those things that during those breaks with the kids, I would also, besides draw, I'd like write a little, try to create this little story that was in my head, and so.
Nice. Now, how long has that
Max-
been out for, Schaup?
It's been out. It's been a
Right,
while.
show it again.
I'll just-
Yeah, but you can still get it though.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yep, because I kind of redid the background. I found a free image I could get, and then I kind of did some basic drawing on the bottom for characters in the book.
All right.
There we go.
I'm gonna
I know
go
we're all
back
gonna have to
50.
Amazon it.
My wife's
Now-
on Amazon every day. I'm going to be like, throw that book in there.
So
Absolutely.
well, it's just a little story about a kid who they live in a magical world, but his family is stuck with no magic. So they use science to navigate the world they live in. So
Okay.
and then some of their science is secret too. So like they have a secret spot the family just goes to and kind of has their experiments they've done through the years, like sort of giant like area where they just have all this stuff they've done together and have like failed experiments. They have experiments that were successful, so they kind of like grow off of each other and stuff like that. So then he develops a group of friends, kind of like those classic middle grade books where you're growing as a group and kind of going through activities and stuff together. So
Right, like a little coming of age. Story.
yep, little coming of age, kind of that middle,
Yeah.
not quite young adult, but not quite a chapter book. It's kind of that, like they call it the
Now,
middle grade.
is there art on the inside as too?
No,
as well,
it's just kind of
prose.
like I said, between chapter book and young adult. So it's got that. It's kind of hopefully more in depth than chapter book, but kind of not all the detail as a young adult.
Nice. Well, I think I think someone's definitely going to check that out, but I think we're all waiting for the Choose Your Own Adventure Shopverse book.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are great books. Choose Your Adventure
I have
books.
great
Awesome.
memories of those growing up.
Yeah.
Did you read a lot of them too?
Yes. Yeah. That was next to comics. That would help me do with some reading and just you got to kind of choose your own adventure and stuff.
Yep. I just bought 4 of them myself. I love.
I was about to say, inside your book, each avenue that you go down could bring up a new person from the Schaup-verse. So all of a sudden you got, so and so here pop up, so and so here.
Look at us all making all this work for Schaup.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Right,
Now, there was one thing I threw in this book that, like, some people, I mean, I'll give you a little clue. Like, we always did names backwards when I grew up. Like, for some reason, we would say people's name backwards. So, like, people would, if you saw my name on there, they would always call me Nednil. Like, as a group of friends. Like, it wasn't like everybody in school, but like a group of friends would call each other. So, for some reason, I just stuck that in the book as there's a certain group of people that's their names are backwards, but they don't say that. That's just how they pronounce their name. They just come out backwards instead.
all right.
Nice.
I'm getting it for sure now.
CBH saying that's a fun one. All right, so let's hit around for final questions. CBizzle, we'll start with you if you got one for him, buddy.
So which character out of all the Schaup4 characters you had the most fun drawing?
Ooh.
Wow, he asked him to pick his favorite child, and the
That
rest
was
of
like, yeah.
Oh, man, gosh, come on, that's just wrong.
Wow.
Don't do that.
CBizzle's
how
trying
about-
to get you executed.
How about this guy right here?
There you go. That's a
And
good
one
save.
more. And I did myself
What a
twice.
killer question, CBizzle. Going for
Here's
the
here's
throat.
myself again.
Yeah, there you
I did
go.
myself as the Peter from Spider-Verse that shows up. He's got his
Yeah,
With the kid.
Yeah.
he's just
With,
he's got the
Mayday
trench
Parker.
coat.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Jim, are you going to throw him under the bus now, too?
No, not at all.
Oh my gosh.
So do you have any specific goals for your YouTube channel that we can plug? Like, do you see yourself collaborating or I'm gonna go back to that original thing what Gary was bringing up about, maybe even just shooting a video of your creation process with the Schaup characters.
Yeah,
could be like a
That'd be
whole
good.
thing.
I'm pretty simple. I'm, like I said at the beginning, I'm pretty much just an unboxing kind of guy. I'm just going to kind of show.
Okay.
I don't get in front of the camera a lot. Like, I just have that little,
Right.
just that little iffy stuff if I am gonna get my point across or not. So
Right.
I like
It's serious when he gets in front of the camera.
I know it's like okay.
Right. I remember Schaup. You texting me after you made your face reveal. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go up to that interview you did." Okay.
Yeah. So,
Now,
I don't know what that was on. That could have been on. Was it you, Gary?
Yeah, probably the 10-1-1.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Because you guys remember Jerry the Jitterbug faced himself on my show for the first time too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Maybe we can get CJ to do it too.
He did.
You get all these beautiful people showing up. All their
CJ showed his
faces,
face
man.
on my channel.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to go back and look.
He did it strategically here and there, but his face is on there.
I can
need to
crop
go check that
pieces
out.
out and try to put a face together. There you go.
Oh no, you get a good clear view of CJ. He knew how to sneak it in there to make people stick around. All right, Panda, Adrian, you got a question for him?
So Schaup, when you draw your characters, are you pencil to paper, or are you now going onto the digital iPad and then just swiping that thing to the fucking cloud or wherever the fuck it goes?
All the original stuff when I first drew them are all still on paper. So then I scanned it, so then that way I can have it trace over and go a little faster. But I'm a lot right now with just the Procreate on my iPad. I love the Procreate app. Like, it's so it helps out a little bit. It makes it a little bit quicker. But me personally, if I'm going to do an artwork, I'm going to sit down with pencil and paper first. So when I went on to Between the Lines, I first drew it all out how I wanted to. I actually have the picture here. It was if you guys saw the episode, it was merged two things together. So I merged my favorite story, like Kraven the Hunter, with Spider-Man. So that issue of him crawling over Kraven, so I put Gaston, and then instead of crawling over a bear's head. He was crawling over Scar's head. So
Scar's head. Yeah,
Nice.
that's cool.
That
So
is real
that-
cool.
I always remember his song from Beauty and the Beast. Who knows that because it's incredibly thick as Gaston.
Yeah. And then
He's
I did
especially
a
good at expectorating.
updated version of Kraven's Last Hunt with the comic vet. This is what I penciled out first, scanned it in, and then I kind of got Chris's head.
Can you do him as Beetlejuice and give him a really small head?
There you go.
The shrunken head Beetlejuice?
Yeah. See, I can't wait to Beetlejuice 2. Hopefully that's good.
Right? Same here.
Yes.
All right, so my final question for you, Schaup. You get to be in a comic book, and you get to get killed off in a comic book. What character's comic book do you get killed off in? Who's writing it? Who's writing your death scene? And who's drawing your death scene?
Ooh.
I'll probably be in Spidey. I'll probably have Todd McFarlane drawing it. And I actually might have him either using the Green Goblin or the Hobgoblin because I liked his artwork on those two. One of those two might be killing me.
Nice.
And then writing it, maybe if we can get Claremont over to write the story.
I'll give you a nice epic death, huh?
For the story.
Yeah. He can't write it in one issue though. That's the problem.
No, see, he wants Claremont to write it because he'll die and like turn into a mutant and get brought back on Krakoa.
Even though like
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I
Schaup's
love
going to go for longest death in Marvel Comics.
There
It's
you
going to be a
Right.
4-issue series.
Right.
Like Pee Wee Herman's vampire dying in Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie.
oh yes.
I think they did that with like what was it, Black Goliath back in the day. Black Goliath got a virus or something, and he was on like so many different books, and then before he finally, I don't even know if he died or they brought it back or what, but there was a
Exactly.
period there.
All right, now we're going to go around the horn here. We're going to see what everybody's doing. So, CBizzle, we'll start with you, man. What's coming up for you, buddy?
I am. I got an unboxing. I got an unboxing video. Of what I briefly showed it with my Choose Your Own Adventures. I used to love reading those books as a kid, and something told me to look on eBay because I didn't know if they were still making them or not. I found out they were still making them, so I ordered 4 of them, and they're here. I already read through one already. So I'm gonna show that off. I'm gonna show my new comic book haul. I'm still going to talk about Aquaman and the Others. That is like a 12-issue miniseries that DC put out, and I'm still doing FOC on Tuesdays with the Black Comic Lords, and then on Thursday I'll be here on Thursdays with my good friend Gary.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you for that. And Digger Jim, what's coming up for you, buddy?
I have a mail call video coming up. I'm waiting on one more package. I've shot some of it, and I'm waiting for one more package. I'm gonna clip it all together, and hopefully, I'm gonna get up in the morning and do some digging at a little spot that's opened up. We got enough rain that I think won't kill where I'm going. So
I like the new name you got in the chat that someone gave you during Stephanie and I's show, the Grave Digger Jim. I want to see that video.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sure you would. But yeah, so it's just a little yard. It's not anything epic, and it's not even maybe from the 50s. The house is, but just the fact that where I live is so historic as far as the war and the Civil War and so forth. Who knows what you'll find in the yard? So hopefully I'll find something good and I can film it. I film everything, and then I just go back and trash whatever's, oh, look, here's a pull tab, and I throw that one out. But if I don't dig the pull tabs like off of a drink, they come up just like gold. And that's what people don't understand. That comes up like gold. You literally have to dig the trash to possibly get the treasure. So you dig those pull tab signals or you don't get a gold ring. And I have yet to find a gold ring because I don't always dig the pull tab. So,
All right, Adrian, what's coming up for you, sir?
Actually, I've still been taking my break. I just have the one video on there when I came back to unbox my final destination for my Grail piece, my TMNT #1 third print. But other than that, I've just been consuming. I've just been watching everybody in the background. Usually, I've got everybody going on either on my computer or on my phone, and everybody's just somewhere on the background and mostly on IG right now. But when I come back, I'll be letting everybody know. I'll be letting everybody.
Well,
know.
Until then, you'll be our favorite lurker.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, always in the shadows. Boyer for life.
Thank you, Ken.
Coming up for me, next Tuesday, we have Steve White on the 1011. That should be a good show. A big collector of the old Mad magazines and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Next Friday, I have to reschedule, find a guest for next Thursday and reschedule someone. But Friday, I have a special show that night, and I gotta contact some of you guys who may want to come on or not. But I have the boys from Australia on, Scott Crusher and the Keep On Collecting Toy guys, and they're gonna come on and talk about their top 3 toys that they all bought over the last year, some of their Grail toys. So I like to do a show with them once in a while. If you guys have never watched them, Scott Crusher and Keep On Collecting, really cool gents, and they get some of the funnest toys you'll ever see. Like things you didn't even know were made. You're like, oh my gosh, I love that show. Who knew they had a toy line? And they'll have every one of them.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
But they're a lot of fun. I've had them on the show before. We had a great time. This will be their return. So I got that coming up. So Schaup, what's coming? Oh, and I'm sorry. And this Saturday morning, turn into Coffee and Cosplay with Stephanie and I on Stephanie's channel. She is cosplaying Power Girl this Saturday morning. We'll have trivia. We'll have fun facts.
Wait.
What?
She's going to dress that
Keep going.
Did you say Power Girl?
Yeah, Power Girl.
Power Girl.
Okay.
What time do you say this was?
Right
So
now.
it's 7:30 Eastern. We have a show every Saturday. She's already done. She did Psylocke last week, and that was a killer outfit. It looked cool.
White Queen.
She's already done Poison Ivy, and
White Queen.
yeah. So we've had some good cosplay. We got more coming up. But catch us every Saturday morning. It's 4:30 her time, 7:30 real time where I'm at. And for you guys, I don't know, just go check out where the show link. It'll tell you what time it is. I can't figure it out for you bastards. And
my alarm is set.
Right. Yes, Mill. The toy show is going to be incredible. These guys are great guys. I love doing shows with them, and they're actually the ones that. So the guys from Keep On Collecting, Matthew and Andrew, they're the ones who introduced me to Vegemite. So I first had Vegemite through them, and then I went on Simple Simon's channel, did the Vegemite challenge. But I still eat Vegemite to this day. I think I've gone through 10 jars already.
Oh, really?
Oh, man.
Like I can't have, if I'm gonna have toast, it's got to have Vegemite on it now. I can't have it any other way. They ruined me. Toast can only have Vegemite.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. You either like it or you really don't like it. But Schaup, as always, man, thank you for coming on and being our guest tonight. We appreciate having you. And I want to thank all my co-hosts. Adrian, super nice to see you pop in again. I'm so glad that you took the welcome, and you're always welcome on my shows. Jim, thank you, CBizzle. It's been a pleasure having you on every week. Jim's always my great right-hand man, Mr. Dependable, except when he isn't. And just kidding. I always got to get shots in. I like to pick on my friends. If I don't pick on you, it means I don't like you.
That's right.
If any of you talk to me and I give you the quiet treatment, you know not to bother me anymore.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm done with you.
But thank you to the audience. We had a great show tonight. We had a little stalking going on. So, CBizzle, congrats on your stalker.
Nice.
Panda was
so
getting
happy for you.
stalked. So we'll get a hotline out there if either one of them turn up missing, guys. They're in a basement somewhere.
That's right.
Thank you to a great audience. It was a great show, guys. And as I like to end all these things, thank you all for watching and keep it casual.